Hello, friends. Stone here, the very first ever episode of Stone Reviews. And Stone Reviews is a segment where I go over stick figure animations that I enjoy and give commentary. Today we have Gyro vs. Ada, RHG. Naturally, we start off with an RHG by Jan. All right, let's start it up. Got an intense beginning here. All right, drops the sword. Introduction. On it. Running. Okay, wait. So, I know I'm stopping it early here, but there's one thing I have to point out right off the bat that I feel like a lot of people don't really understand, or they're not going to grasp the amount of effort that goes into something like this. So I'm going to take this as an educational moment to, and learn you. I'm gonna learn you, okay? Let's go back a couple frames here. Bring it back. Couple frames. Here we go. So right in the beginning here, right when he goes in for this, okay, all this smoke here that you're seeing, this amount of smoke, I know that this seems somewhat insignificant, but there's a lot of effort that goes into this very, very quick introduction here, this very opening scene. I can promise you, the amount of effort that went into this initial smoke probably took about an hour, maybe hour and a half. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but look how much it actually plays for. I mean, it's what, second and a half. Anyways, I had to point that out. I really like, I like. It's a spicy meatball. I enjoy a spicy smoke effect. So anyways, let's roll back. Nice, 2D. Okay. Look at that again. Hold on. So, in this portion here, this is the first time I feel that I've seen this. Maybe I'm not looking as much as I need to, but I feel like this is the first time I've seen this where you have a slow-mo coming in, right? But during the slow-mo, generally you expect everything to be in slow-mo, right? I mean, at least I do. So what got me with this, here, let's bring it back, is he comes in for the slow-mo right here, right? And then clearly, we have the opposing stick here that is not in slow-mo whatsoever. I thought that was pretty neat, because visually when it's occurring, for me, I feel like as though it catches me off guard, and anything that catches me off guard is quite nice, you know? Okay, another thing I wanted to point out here before moving forward that kind of bothered me was that, and I know this isn't necessarily the author's fault, this is Jan's fault, but both stick figures being blue, for the average viewer is a little bit confusing, and to add a little bit more to that, I think that he could have, for this portion right here, or that bothers me, is I really couldn't read this text, like, at all. This text for me, it's like a blue-black gradient on it. Not necessarily the best choice, considering it's on a gray and blue background, you know what I mean? But anyways, let's continue playing forward, let's see what we got. Okay, so this scene here, I really like how he does this kind of like triple take type thing, this 3 different angles, same movement, but it's completely, it feels fresh. I mean, I always like this kind of like triple take type stuff, but I like the angles he decided to take too. Like, we start off here, boom, it's just. All right, let's keep it rolling here. Let's see what we got. So, going out of this here, out of the slow-mo, boom, triple angles. Love the 3 angles. Nice, getting up, grabbing his weapon, good angle changes. Now this. First of all, First of all, the sound effects there. I love the sound effects there. They really sell that kind of like, I don't know, iron, grippy, sliding chord sound. Also, how he pulled off all the chords kind of like expanding out of the character. The tangles, man. Look at that. So juice. So juice. Okay. Alright, we're going to the fight sequence here. Nice, fast pace. Some effects coming in. Woo! Oh, boy. Oh! That right there, when the camera pans out like that, and you have the explosion going straight up like that. Ooh, that reminds me of some of the old Turquoise 2D. It's this portion right here. Let's go back to it. Right here. Right? Boom. Smoke effect. Camera panning out. Woo! That's a spice. That's a spice right there. That's a spice. Alright. Pan back in. Close up. Okay, what? Oh. Wait. Okay, what just happened there? What? Alright. Go back to the hands. Go back to the hands. Okay, he's doing some anime shenanigans here. But then this part, okay, we're seeing, I don't like through his limbs, seeing to the bones, I guess you could say. There's some filtering going on here. There's some spicy filtering going on here. I like that. You know, I'm not sure I've seen something like that before. And I like that. I mean, it's very quick. When it's playing back at normal speed, very quick. Oh, I skipped something. Alright, we're going back. I mean, the playback on it is pretty damn quick. But damn, I like that. That I like. Alright, let it run. All the chords going out. Ooh! Okay, alright. This goes back to the smoke stuff. I mean, the smoke stuff has a special place in my heart. Now, this will makes this one a little bit more special than what you usually see. Usually when you see a big explosion like that, of smoke, it takes a lot of time. It really takes a lot of time to get it out. And so what usually ends up happening is the smoke explosion goes out, and then it just kind of like changes scene. Because to get all that smoke to either dissipate or kind of like continue its expansion, the more time you see a smoke explosion like that, it gets exponentially longer to work on, because now you have more smoke particles, you have more expansion. All of these things come together. It just really takes a long time. But what I like about this is he didn't take the easy way out. You have the initial smoke explosion, and usually in this instance right here, this is usually where people just like change scene. Because they're like, okay, it already took me like an hour to get to this point, or 45 minutes, whatever. I'm done. But he adds another effect in, adds a secondary explosion that goes on top of that, and then a third that each layer of it changes the shape of the overall explosion, which is really, I love that. I love that. That's spice, dude. I love the speed shown here as well. And then of course the dead. Pretty abrupt finish. I maybe would have liked to see a little bit more interesting of a finish. I mean, I like it. It does seem to come pretty quick though. Like, I feel like we were coming to a climax of shorts. Towards the end here, we have the special finisher, which is nice. The music is cued in pretty well for this. I think, honestly, after these 3 explosions, he was probably like, oh my god. Like, at this point, I kind of want to die. Which, again, it looks great. It really came out great. But with this, and this, I feel like right now is when the opponent, the one who just got knocked back here, should have taken over the fight a little bit instead of it ending. Maybe he had time constraints. Maybe he lost inspiration for it. I'm not sure. But overall, I like how the change of face here. I like the different camera angles as it comes down. It's kind of bird's eye view pan. It's nice. It's nice. Gyro wins. And then again, I don't know if it's gyro or gyro or gyro. I apologize in advance, Jan, if I got that wrong. But so that was our very first Stone Reviews commentary on Gyro versus Ada by Jan. I personally really liked it. That's why it's one that I chose. I of course, obviously, RHGs have a special place in my heart. But we're also going to be talking to Jan, and we had a couple questions for him about his work here. So, without further ado, we'll get right into it. Jan, special guest, the author of Gyro or Gyro versus Ada. First of all, welcome to the very first episode.
Hey, thanks, man. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Stone Reviews. I have a couple questions here for you. First question, what inspired you to start this battle? Was it just a request, or did you kind of approach your opponent? What inspired overall to begin this animation?
The thing that actually started this was, it was for a collab. It was a clan war between Nemesis and Infinity Strikers.
Oh, really?
That we wanted to, like, put together in a collab.
Oh.
So it was a continuation of the previous collab together with the clan war. So It was basically kind of like the enemy guy hired Infinity Strikers, to stop us. And that was just how it started. One of the things that also inspired me was to just, like, I get to battle someone better than me, like Kozen. Kozen's an amazing animator, and that's just like a big challenge.
Yeah, man, I really love. I believe his character's Ada, right? I want to make sure I get that right. And yours, is it Gyro? Gyro?
Yeah, it's Gyro.
Okay, because I went back and forth a couple different times when I was reviewing it because I wasn't entirely sure. It's not like it's weird spelling or anything. It's just you can interpret it a couple different ways. But I've always loved Ada's battles. I think it's really creative. RHG myself. It always seems fun.
They're crazy good.
Yeah, right? Now, the other question I have for you is, how long did this take? It's a simple question, but it seems to be a question that's common amongst most viewers. It's like, they see something like this, they get inspired themselves, they want to create it, and then you tell them, oh, this took 200 hours. And they're like, So
I wish it was that short.
So how long, roughly, it could be either hours or even just time frame. Did it take you 3 months on and off, or how long did it take you to
It was like around 2 months.
Months? That's not too bad.
And it could be shorter, and there are two main reasons why it took me so long. One is I'm just lazy as hell.
Yeah.
And then the second one is I'm a slow animator. Like, I take my time, I try to make it as best as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also a perfectionist. Like, I'll do the same thing over and over again until it just looks perfect to me. It might just look terrible to everyone else. If I'm satisfied with it, then I'll move on.
Honestly, that's generally the best compass. Like, for me personally, I end up hating most of what I create, honestly. So when I do make something, whether it's just a scene, a whole animation, whatever, when I do make something and I look at it and I'm like, hey, and then I feel like, okay, I love that. I really, 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 really am happy with it. So I totally completely get that. I'm the same way. Next question I have for you. Maybe this one. What's something you did in this animation that you felt you were proud of? Something specific that you can point out. Like maybe something you tried that was new, something that was more difficult for you, something, maybe it was different angle changes, maybe it was different effects, facial expressions, things like that. What was something in this animation that you did that you usually don't do that kind of like stood out to you?
I don't think there's really a specific thing that's like different from what I usually do. I do think my smoke effects in particular did look like better than my previous animations. Mm-hmm. And the one thing I actually do like that I put in was the reference. You know how like the Ada versus Ariel battle, he gets cut in half?
Yes.
This is what I did with the ending. Like I think that was a good thing. Although some people might disagree with that.
Yeah, so, okay, that makes a little bit more sense to me now because I actually commented on the ending because I felt that it did come abruptly. Even though you had that beautiful, huge, triple smoke explosion at the end there, I felt that was a bit of a turning point when I thought that Ada was going to turn it around. But now that you said it was kind of a tribute to the previous battle, that maybe makes a little bit more sense. Because then that adds more impact to that ending. Huh?
That's what I was aiming at when I made that. I just hope like people see the same way and not just like me copying from Cousin.
Right. Okay. The next question I have is...
Oh, you're using OBS?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So, next question. Here we have. How do you feel about the response from the community? You work on this thing for 2 months. You rush to the deadline, finally get it out there. It's posted. It's up on the YouTube, and comments start flooding in. So, how did you feel about it?
I mean, seeing it on the Hyun's Dojo channel was a really great feeling, you know, like a lot more people get to see it. But with that also comes that a lot more people get to comment on it. And majority of the comments will mostly just be either, hey, this is great, I like this, or quite the opposite, you know, this is bad, I don't like this. And one of the things that got mentioned the most was it was really one-sided, the battle. I kind of didn't see that at first, you know, I kind of just like tunnel visioned. I didn't pay attention to it. But despite how negative all of that like felt, because some of the comments were also like this is bad, you know, the choreography is bad, the atmosphere is bad. At first it kind of like sucks, but you just have to, you know, accept it, that if people tell you it's bad, and a lot of people that is, you just have to work on it, you have to fix it, you have to accept the criticism the way it is and move on.
Right.
Basically.
Right. And I mean, it's like I could see both sides. I could see the people who were commenting and saying, hey, you know, it's very one-sided, but at the same time, I mean, there comes a point when people see negative comments that they try to then make their own version of a negative. You know what I mean? People feed off their own other negative comments. Whereas someone who may not have even written a comment, they're like, oh yeah, both the stick figures are blue. Now I'm mad, you know, after they even actually formulate that opinion themselves. You know? But even still, I agree. You know, you can look at it. It's not like it's going to be worth your time to be like, okay, let me delete this video, make those changes and re-upload. You know what I mean?
I'm going to delete the comment.
Exactly. No, I mean, I totally agree. Well, my next question, we basically just answered my next question. But so some people mentioned it's very one-sided. Can you speak a little detail why?
Oh, yeah.
We just answered that perfectly. So I guess my final question would be, when do you feel you'll be starting your next RHG, if at all? And if so, against who?
I probably will. I just really can't say when, because that's like, I'm not really the one to approach people about RHG battles. Because every single RHG battle that I had was someone else coming to me, with the sole exception of the clan war, because it was kind of mandatory for me to make a part.
Right.
If I were to battle someone, it would probably be someone, you know, better than me, because I like the challenge. I get a lot more like encouragement to fight someone who's better than me.
Right, because it's
I don't know.
It's interesting to see what they're going to come up with. They decide to
do exactly. Like that's just one of the things. Like it's so great seeing someone else animate your character, and it's even better if it's someone that's really, really good.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I can agree with you there. I like to do that myself whenever I was collabing on something, like especially like joint effort type stuff. Jointing with another animator that's actually more talented than yourself. And even not necessarily always more talented than yourself. Just being able to work with someone and you can kind of see how they do certain things, and it forces you to put you in certain scenarios that otherwise you yourself never put yourself in, and it makes you have to come to a creative resolution to be able to make it. That's when you'll very interesting new aspects to animations that otherwise have before. All growth. Another thing before we go that I wanted to mention, that was the thing that I like battle here, is that there is a portion in the animation where it's like, I wouldn't say it's a close-up, but it's like a semi-close, where you actually see the how you make it look like your left arm and right arm, you actually discolor the
first person scene?
Yeah, like kind of like where the strings are, you can see like you make, like for instance, one leg is darker than the other. That really makes the walk cycles, run cycles, and everything really clean, close like that. Something that I hope more people adopt more frequently, and it's definitely not like you're the first to have ever done it, but you still
No,
don't
I'm
see it
definitely
super
not.
frequently. You know what I mean? So it's cool that you took the effort, and it's those little details that matter. You know, that overall the average person doesn't necessarily look at and go, "Wow, he took the time to do that," but they do feel,
Yeah.
"Wow, this looks better" for some reason. They don't necessarily know why, but it's those little details like that when you stack them up with everything else, you begin to say apart from the other. Especially if we're doing stick fight.
Yeah.
I hate to say that
because
that's what I love.
Hard to do something so simple.
It's those.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you like.
All right, man. Well, thank you so much for letting me do this Stone review and for doing the very
Hey,
first
no
interview
problem,
on Stone reviews. And hopefully we'll see if people like these. We'll continue more Stone reviews, and I hope to see your next RHG.
Hey, thanks, man. I'll try my best.
All right, man.
To
Take
make
care.
one in the next like 7 years or something.
Yeah. All right. See ya.